The cornfields whispered secrets in the dead of night, their rustling stalks like skeletal fingers brushing against the farmhouse windows. Inside, 12-year-old Ethan lay awake, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. He hadn't slept soundly since the crash. It had been a year since the fiery object plummeted from the sky, landing in the field behind their barn. A year since they found the child, unhurt amidst the wreckage, wrapped in a crimson blanket that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly glow. A year since their lives had irrevocably changed. They named him Brandon. He was a quiet child, unnervingly so, with eyes that seemed to hold the vastness of the night sky. He excelled in school, a brilliant mind trapped in a small town. But there was a distance in his gaze, a chilling detachment that set him apart. Ethan, 2 years older, had initially been thrilled at the prospect of a brother, but as the months passed, a creeping unease settled over him. Brandon was different. He was stronger, faster, and possessed an uncanny ability to manipulate objects with his mind. He could crush a soda can with a glance, levitate toys with a flick of his wrist, and his touch left a strange, burning sensation on Ethan's skin. The whispers started subtly. At first, it was just a feeling, a prickling sensation at the back of Ethan's neck when Brandon was near. Then it became a voice, faint and insidious, slithering into his mind when he was alone. "He's not your brother," it hissed. "He's not human." Ethan tried to ignore it, to dismiss it as his imagination, but the voice persisted, growing stronger with each passing day. It spoke of Brandon's true nature, of a darkness that lurked beneath his placid exterior, of a destiny that would bring ruin upon them all. One night, Ethan awoke to a chilling sight. Brandon stood by the window, bathed in the pale moonlight, his eyes glowing with an eerie red light. He was staring at the town below, a predatory hunger in his gaze. Terror gripped Ethan's heart. He knew then that the whispers were true. Brandon was not just different, he was dangerous. He was Brightburn. The next morning, Ethan tried to warn his parents, but they dismissed his fears. They were blinded by their love for Brandon, their belief in the miracle child who had fallen from the stars. They couldn't see the monster he was becoming. The incidents escalated. Animals started turning up dead, their bodies mutilated in ways that defied explanation. Strange symbols appeared carved into the barn walls, glowing with an eerie luminescence. The whispers intensified, filling Ethan's mind with terrifying visions of destruction. He knew he had to do something, but what could he do against a being of such power? He was just a boy, a normal boy, against a creature that defied all earthly laws. One night, the voice in his head spoke with a chilling clarity. "He's coming for you, Ethan. You're the only one who can stop him." Ethan's blood ran cold. He knew what he had to do. He had to confront Brandon to expose his true nature, to protect his family and the town from the impending doom. He crept out of his room, armed with nothing but a flashlight and a desperate hope. He found Brandon in the barn, standing before a makeshift altar, chanting in a language that sounded like the crackling of stars. Brandon turned, his eyes burning like embers. "You shouldn't be here, Ethan." "I know what you are," Ethan said, his voice trembling. "I know what you're going to do." A chilling smile spread across Brandon's face. "You can't stop me, Ethan. I'm not just different. I'm better." He lunged at Ethan, his hands outstretched, his eyes blazing with a malevolent light. Ethan screamed, raising his flashlight in a futile attempt to defend himself. But then something unexpected happened. The flashlight, a simple everyday object, flared with a blinding light, striking Brandon in the face. He recoiled, a cry of pain escaping his lips. Ethan, emboldened, raised the flashlight again. The light intensified, pushing back the darkness that emanated from Brandon. He stumbled back, his powers flickering, his strength waning. The whispers in Ethan's mind roared with a newfound power. "He's vulnerable to light. Use it!" Ethan pressed his advantage, the beam of the flashlight becoming a weapon against the alien threat. Brandon, weakened and disoriented, retreated into the night, his screams echoing through the cornfields. Ethan had won, for now. He had discovered Brightburn's weakness. A glimmer of hope in the face of overwhelming darkness. But he knew the fight was far from over. Brandon would return, stronger and more determined than ever. And Ethan would be ready, armed with the light that could pierce the darkness and save them all. The cornfields whispered his name, a chorus of hope and fear as Ethan stood vigilant, the guardian of his family, the protector of his town, the last line of defense against the alien threat that had come to Earth, not as a savior, but as a destroyer.